Welcome back. Now, I alluded to a pen that you have in your pocket, Mark, and I thought people would be really interested in what this is. It's not just a regular pen. So what is it?
This is a spy pen.
A spy pen.
It's a spy pen. I got it at one of those stores in Toronto. It's one of those stores that has all these gadgets, like, for example, the teddy bear with the camera so that people can see what their babysitter is doing.
Okay.
But this pen, you just click it down and it starts to record.
Oh, okay. So it's a microphone.
That's right.
Oh.
And then what happens, it can record for 17 hours, and then I just plug a device in at the back of it, and then I just plug it into a computer, and then it just creates a WAV file, and you've got a recording of...
And why were you using something like this?
Well, what I did is that I wanted to find out, for the research for the book, I wanted to find out if someone went to see a bankruptcy trustee or a credit counseling agency or a debt settlement firm or different types of organizations that provide advice to consumers,
right,
what were they actually being told? And so I had several people who were in debt go and have appointments with bankruptcy trustees, and they just went in and they said, "This is my financial situation. Give me some advice."
Yeah.
And that's where I came across the situation where, and I actually told them to ask the question, well, if these debts were more than 2 years old, what would happen if I just didn't pay? And it was obvious that these particular bankruptcy trustees really didn't know very much about limitation periods. And basically what they did is they explained what is a consumer proposal and what is a personal bankruptcy, and they really didn't talk about anything else.
Didn't talk about the limitations, and did they talk about settling for less than 100%? No, so
never mentioned that at all. And I think in my book, I talk about doing installment payments,
right,
getting a consolidation loan,
right,
doing debt settlement where you're making a lump sum payment for a huge discount, or doing credit counseling, or doing a consumer proposal, or doing personal bankruptcy. But in my book, Wolf at the Door,
right,
I try and explain to the readers what all their options are.
Right.
And what concerns me is that if a person is going to a credit counseling agency, or if they're going to see a bankruptcy trustee, they are probably not going to be told about all of the various options that they have.
Is it that they don't know what the other options are, or that they're really focused on them using their option?
Well, I think it's only human nature. I mean, if you're a bankruptcy trustee and someone comes in to see you, if they don't sign up for a consumer proposal or personal bankruptcy, the bankruptcy trustee is not going to make any money.
Okay.
So I think it's only human nature that, hopefully when people come in, that they may become a client. Now, with bankruptcy trustees, I think part of it is just there's a lot of bankruptcy trustees in Canada who really don't know very much about
the other options. Yeah.
Well, they don't. Well, they may not know much about other options, but there certainly seems to be a real lack of knowledge among bankruptcy trustees in Canada about limitation periods. And I think that's something that bankruptcy trustees as a group should be concerned about, because
yeah, because that's a fairly obvious piece of information. It's certainly easily accessible.
Well, I could give you an example. Someone could owe $100,000 in debt. They live in Ontario. These debts are all 3 years old. They go and see a bankruptcy trustee. The bankruptcy trustee may say, here's a consumer proposal, here's a personal bankruptcy, I recommend you do one of them. If they had talked to me, I'm going to tell them, or if they'd read my book, I'm going to say all of these debts are over 2 years old. If you were to be sued on these, you'd have a good defense on all of it. You wouldn't have to pay any of this. Or you may be in a position where you may want to settle these at 15 cents on the dollar.